Well, hello class. This is Mr. Gunn.
And Ben Gillig.
And we are presenting your Lesson 2-4 lesson. And Lesson 2-4, whoops, it's not drawing. There we go. Lesson 2-4, which is going to be on variables
And equations.
All right, so let's get started. To get things started, we've got a couple vocabulary terms that you've got to learn this this section. So let's start out with what an equation is. All right, and see that little symbol right after the equation? What is that, Ben?
Equal sign.
That's an equal sign, and that's exactly what an equation has to have. It has to have an equal sign. So an equation is nothing more. We talked about numerical expressions. Remember that?
Yep.
And a numerical expression or a variable expression had a bunch of stuff kind of multiplied or divided, but there was no equals. That's what made it an expression. So what an equation is when I have one expression equal to another expression. So basically what makes an equation is the equal sign. Now there's another name for a mathematical equation. Sometimes we call them sentences. Okay, just like a sentence in English has to have a subject and a verb, a math sentence usually involves two sides of an equation, and you can think of the equal sign as the verb. Okay, so we call it a math sentence. All right, now there's three options for the value of a sentence. A sentence can be
true, false, and open.
Or open. So you have to look at a mathematical sentence and decide which of those three it is. Okay, an example of a true equation or sentence would be something like 2 plus 3 equals 5. We know that to be true, and so the left side and the right side are in fact equal, so that is a true sentence. On the other hand, I could write 2 plus 3 equals 7,428, and that would be a false sentence because 2 plus 3 does not equal 7,428. Now, an open sentence is kind of interesting. It has to have a variable in it, and it would be something like 2 plus x equals 32. And we can't tell right away whether or not this sentence is true or false because it depends on what
the variable is.
Right, depends on what x is equal to. So if we put 30 in for x, yippee skippy, it's a true sentence. But if I put any other number in other than 30, then it's going to come out to be false. Okay? So all equations or mathematical sentences are going to be able to be evaluated. Now, if they only have numbers in them, we can figure out from looking at the left side and the right side whether they're true or false. Okay? But if there's a variable in it, it's open, and it's up to us to find the right value to put in for that variable. And that is where pre-algebra comes in. So if you're given an open sentence, like for instance, here, let's go ahead and write one down here. Oop, went too far. Okay, so if I give you a sentence like, let's make it a little more interesting. Let's make it 2x plus 7 equals 25. All right, so what we're usually trying to do in mathematics, in pre-algebra and in algebra, is figure out what value can I put in for that variable to make this a true sentence. Because right now, it's open, because we don't know what x is. And if I make up some dumb number like, I don't know, 0, 2 times 0 plus 7 would equal 7, and 7 does not equal 25, so that would make it that'd be a false sentence, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to continue this conversation. All right, so what we're going to learn to do is solve equations to find what value for this x makes it true. All right, so the way we do this is we work backwards, and we're going to spend a lot of time this chapter working on this, so this is kind of an introduction. But if I know that 2x plus 7 equals 25, if I want to kind of work backwards in my head, let's take away 7 on both sides. Make sense, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
18.
so if I take it away on this side, I get 2x, and as Ben already said, the right side now is just 18. Now you can probably do this in your head, but what we're really doing in our heads is if we know 2 times something is 18, what we're really doing at this point is we're dividing both sides in our heads by 2. So if I know 2x is equal to 18, then 1x must equal
9.
And that is called the solution of the equation. It's the number that if you put that number in for x, it'll come out true. If you put any other number besides 9, like 0 or 2 or negative 85 in for x, then those are all false. Okay? So that's really it in a nutshell. We have algebraic equations, which are mathematical sentences. All that we really need for those is we need an equal sign, okay? And then all of the rest of the equations are going to be one of the following. They're going to be true, false, or open. And the way you can tell if something's open is it's going to have what?
A variable.
A variable. That's exactly right. Okay? So let's skip ahead here. And I think that's pretty much it for tonight. So let's see. What final word should we end with? How about this production has been brought to you by Ben and Greg. So remember those 3 words for your daily quiz tomorrow. And this is Mr. Gunn and
Ben
signing off. We'll see you guys in class tomorrow. Bye now.